One. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch. Meteorologist Bianchi, the 9 News Weather Center. We're going to answer also a climate-related question later on, but we actually do have real, breathing, living snowflakes. I don't know if they live or breathe, but we do have some snowflakes flying across some of those Denver skies today. That is prompting, at least based on what I've seen on social media, I wouldn't call it a freak out, but a lot of people pretty excited about the fact that we're actually seeing some snow, some snowflakes here in Denver. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to accumulate all that much or really be all that exciting. So Denver's seeing some of that snow at this point. And again, thanks for joining us here for a detailed look at that Colorado weather forecast. Now, yes, we're seeing snow. I would term this to be a Snapchat snow where we're seeing a few flakes. We're seeing a lot of social media traction. We're not seeing any actual impacts, nor are we going to see any accumulation here in Denver. Really, anybody that's below 6,000 feet, that's most of the metro area, is going to be seeing little, no accumulation here as we head through your day today. But we do, again, have some flakes. And as you head up into the Palmer Divide, that's where you could see maybe an inch or two of slushy accumulation, especially kind of later on today and perhaps earlier on this evening. But closer look in here at Denver, and again, a lot of us are seeing a few flakes, but we're not seeing much in the way of accumulation, and it's also very dry at the surface. So most of what you're looking at here is not actually reaching the ground. This is what we would term virga. That is rain or snow that evaporates before it hits the ground. So again, it's very, very dry. If you're joining us here from the Denver area, probably don't have to tell you that it's been extremely dry over the last few days. It's been that kind of classic chapstick weather, and when we've got that dry air firmly entrenched at the surface, well, unfortunately, that's going to make it very difficult for any snow to reach the ground. But again, a few flakes are getting their way on through, but we're not expecting any accumulation because of that dry air and also just not really enough moisture. It's not warm enough. There's a lot of factors in play that we're not expecting any accumulation, at least in Denver proper. Forecast, we do have some snow showers continue for the southern mountains, the wet mountains, the San Cristo Mountains. We'll see some meaningful snow out of this, and folks, that is good news. We need the snow in the mountains. We haven't had nearly enough so far this season. We're getting at least some snow up that way, so that is some good news. Now, here in Denver, our snowless streak will officially continue. So what I mean by that is, yes, some of us might be seeing some flakes, but in order for us to technically receive snow or for it to accumulate, we need 1/10 of an inch of snow or more. That is very unlikely to happen, and certainly even less likely to happen at Denver's official climate site at Denver International Airport on the northeast side of town, which is even less likely than downtown or points further off to the south to see any accumulation today. So again, don't anticipate any accumulation as we head through the day, but some spots maybe on the Palmer Divide, and again, 6,000, 6,500 feet or above, may see a dusting on your car tops, on grassy surfaces, things like that. But that will be it here, folks. But you do get up in the mountains, and again, maybe an inch or two as you get up by Bailey, 8,000 feet or above. That's where you could see some snow. Now, as we head through today, it's 44 degrees for us, and we do have some gusty winds to tell you about as well. So it's still a little bit on the blustery side as you head out the door, especially on the east side of the state and the east side of the metro area. Those winds do calm down as we get later on through tonight, but they'll kick back up for your Thanksgiving night, especially in the foothills. Currently, 38 in Denver, 42 Colorado Springs, 31 Eagle, 34 Gunnison. That is dramatically different from this time yesterday when we were closing in on those temperatures, getting on up into the low 70s. We got, again, remember, got to 71 degrees here in Denver yesterday, and for your day today, well, we're only going to be in the 40s, at least for those highs during the day. So forecast highs for today, again, mid-40s for us here in Denver. You get up into the mountains, 20s and 30s. Sorry, folks, just not all that warm. Tomorrow, though, for your Thanksgiving, how about this? Mid-50s. So the warmer air does return quickly. We don't have any of the snow yet, but we do have at least some warmer temperatures for your Thanksgiving. So enjoy your Thanksgiving. And by the way here, folks, you didn't need to know this, but I'm going to be having Thanksgiving at a few friends over for Thanksgiving myself, and we were debating whether or not to have it outdoors. But I think, at least for us, at least from a meteorologist's perspective, it'll be just warm enough that we can have that Thanksgiving meal outdoors. At least you do it kind of 2, 3 o'clock, you know what I'm talking about, where you got enough of the sun, where that 56 degrees, it won't be that windy either, so it'll be nice enough, I think, just nice enough to have that Thanksgiving meal outdoors here on your day tomorrow. So great news. Temperatures in the mid-50s for us as we get near Thanksgiving. And that 7-day forecast, well, if you're looking for snow, forget about it, because once we get past today, we are going to be talking about temperatures that more resemble early to mid-October than the last few days of the month of November. And we're probably, by the way, also here, folks, going to be talking about one of the top 10 warmest Novembers on record here in Denver. So our dry, our warm, and our snowless skid, all of that continues for us here in the Denver area as we head over the next few days. So again, if you're looking for any snow, well, you'll see a few flakes today. That is probably going to be it, unless you're joining us from the Palmer Divide or the south side of the metro area. That'll be pretty much the only areas where we can expect that. Now, another thing we're doing here on 9 News Watch, at least for today's the final day we're doing this, but we're taking some of your climate-related questions. And today's comes from Joshua Robinson in Loveland, who says, "We hear a lot about CO2 and gases that contribute to climate change. Has anyone done a study to see the impact of solid surfaces such as parking lots, roads, roofs, and climate change? Where we once had dirt, grass, and trees, and plants is now covered in dark, sun-absorbing surfaces. I suspect that would cause a thermal where none existed before." That, again, from Joshua Robinson in Loveland, asking about the possible impacts of paved surfaces and a warming climate. The quick answer is there has certainly been quite a bit of research in that department, and there is a term for this. It's called an urban heat island. That means that downtown areas, so for example here in Denver, the downtown area, depending on the exact circumstances, especially at night, because pavement, asphalt can absorb sunlight much more efficiently than lighter surfaces or plants. Long story short, downtown areas tend to be considerably warmer at night compared to outlying areas. But during the day, for example, Denver International Airport might actually be sometimes a tick warmer than downtown because, again, that sunlight can get absorbed a bit more easily during the day in some of those outlying areas. Long story short, there is certainly an urban heat island that is in place. So again, paved surfaces absorb that sunlight much more efficiently, and as a result of that, you're more likely to get those warmer temperatures in downtown areas. Now, whether or not that's impacting the climate over a longer term, certainly in those downtown areas it is. The question, or I suppose the bigger question is that contributing to global warming as a whole? Perhaps a little bit, but it's hard to tell at this point. But hopefully, Joshua, that answers your question. There's certainly, again, that those added paved surfaces in downtown areas, that added pavement is undoubtedly contributing to a warmer climate in downtown and urbanized areas. So hopefully that answers your question for you. I'm going to leave you with one last look here at the 7-day forecast. Some flakes today. Well, don't worry about them unless you're way up there in the Palmer Divide or into the mountains. Otherwise, we're looking at a lot of sunshine and those temperatures way warmer than average and no snow in sight after today. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch for a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast and also your climate-related questions. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Have a great rest of your day and happy Thanksgiving.